about their clients and want them to be successful. For all of your shipping needs, call Pack Mill, and to tell the Ocala area about your business, call WOCA, because WOCA radio gets results.
Direct Connect to UCF, where students who attend the College of Central Florida and graduate with an AA or articulated AS degree are guaranteed admission to the University of Central Florida. Success coaches are ready and waiting to assist you in designing an educational plan that is right for you in any of their locations across Central Florida. Remember, connecting is easy and guaranteed. Find out more at directconnect2ucf.com.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We have in the studio Nikki Nix. She is the Patient Services Coordinator for Ocala Eye, and Ocala Eye is what do you call somebody who's going to be your doctor? It's going to be. It's like when somebody's going to be your wedded person. What do you call it? Like fiancé?
Yeah.
What would you call a doctor who's your to-be, your spoken for? So anybody else who's thinking about courting me to be an eye patient, I'm sorry, I'm spoken for.
You're reserved.
Good morning, Nikki. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
See, we just realized there's a word missing from the English language.
What's that?
Then, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we got to figure out what it is.
Whatever word is defined as the doctor to be, the guy who's going to be. Are there any lady doctors over there, by the way?
There are.
Oh, have we met them?
There are. We have not met them.
Are you
they haven't come here on the show.
Is that your direction? Are you heading to be a doctor?
No. No, my 18-year career is where it is. I've been there for 18 years, and
just like what you're doing.
Yes, I do.
But you're the guy. You're the person who puts us at ease.
Yes.
That's what I get out of all of our interviews with you, right?
Yes.
Because even though it's the part you could do without a finger, you don't want to do without an eye. I don't want to do without a finger either, but I mean, your eyes are so important.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Vision's an important sense for people, and the thought of not having it after they've had it is very frightening for them.
Do you see anything now? You've been doing it 18 years. Do you see anything now that you didn't see 18 years ago?
I think that just in general, we as a society have become just so busy that time is essentially just everybody wants in and out.
I'm probably guilty
sometimes
of that too.
It takes I think we all are to an extent for a lot of things, where we've become very impatient. And so that's why we are it's very important for us for our culture at Ocala Eye to make the patients feel like we're not trying to rush them through. That this is a very, we care about how they see and their, what they're feeling and what their complaints are, and try to address all those. So
there was a story in the news the other day, Robin. It was in a German movie theater. The guy had a beer and he opened it up with a can of
pepper spray.
Pepper spray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was pepper spray, and they had to evacuate the whole theater because it was just sucked the air out of everything. So what does that do
to your eyes?
I just think the chemicals in it are just an irritant in general. Obviously, pepper burns.
So you get over it. It's just at that moment. It doesn't damage your eyes permanently?
No, because for the most part, most people are flushing their eyes right after they get pepper sprayed, even people who are going through the police academy or things like that, and they actually get pepper sprayed as part of their training.
Right.
And if you see them right after, though, you'll see that their nose is running and stuff too. It just gets in all those mucous membranes, and they're from my mermaid days. So as long as they're flushing that out, it's not causing.
Is there a right way and a wrong way to wash your eyes out?
Not necessarily. When somebody gets some kind of chemical in there and we tell them to flush it, just even if they run it underneath their tap water for there's a time frame, we'd like them to flush it for at least about 15-20 minutes so that you can make sure there's no residual on your eyelashes in your tear film at all. You want to rinse all that out so that you're not continually just blinking that back in the eye.
And how about people that wear contact lenses? Because that's even scarier.
We would tell them to take those out and just throw them away. we wouldn't want you to use that pair again, because if they've absorbed anything into them, you don't, we would just tell you to trash those, get a new pair.
So we're going to New York Thanksgiving week. And then when we come back, then I'm coming to see you guys.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's kind of the way I've planned out.
We'll be there.
It's that thing you're talking about where time is a big deal for everybody. So, yeah, I'm trying to schedule things.
You're trying to manage it in.
I haven't called you yet to do it.
That's okay. That's okay. We're there.
What is the time frame? Like, if I call you, how much time?
It just depends. We have some new complete exams open this week. So,
really?
if patients were to call today, we probably,
there's so many people over where you are.
We do. We probably, in between all of our locations and our surgery center, we probably have 175 employees, somewhere like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very big practice.
Wow. And Robin said you had there was a news release from Market?
Yes. We'll be opening up that new location in the spring.
In the spring, okay.
Yes, so we'll be, I think we're shooting for March, if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to be obviously it's going to be beautiful because everything's going to be brand new and fancy and all of that fun stuff. But we'll be combining our Paddock Park location and our Magnolia location just because they're only about 4 miles apart. So this facility is actually about 18,000 square feet. So we can house a lot more physicians and all of those things into one facility as opposed to having so many locations. I think we'll keep the Magnolia location open for glasses and testing and things like that. But as far as doctors going there anymore, I think that they'll all be at that new location.
And that's really helpful too when you have surgical procedures done. Everything is all under one roof, and if a doctor needs advice like right then and there,
right. That's the wonderful thing is that with them subspecializing in different things, they can just consult in house. Either via phone or if they're in the same location to help each other out with patient care. So.
You were telling us in one of the interviews that you could, as you look at the retina, or the eye in general, you can see maybe there's something else going on, high blood pressure or things like that. Does, if you reverse, if you take care of the high blood pressure, does it reverse whatever damage was done to the eye from it?
It just depends on what the damage was to begin with. Sometimes if there's bleeding, if it's damaged any part from the bleeding, that's irreversible damage. We can't really fix that, but what it will do is keep those vessels in good shape, for the future, for them to not to continue to leak to damage any more vision.
Last week you were talking about rosacea and skin things. Who knew that you guys did this?
I know.
I think last week was the first time you brought this up.
It is. It's one of those things where we try to get that message out there, but patients, they think they're just calling eye doctors. Of course, we're called Ocala Eye, but in turn, there's a lot of things that we offer in-house so that it is convenient for our patients as far as hearing and aesthetics. So, a lot of people don't know that, there's a lot of different things that you can utilize to help with your skincare that also can help cleanse your eyelids and all that.
Why is the skin on the face so different than the rest of your body?
It's so thin. It's just so thin. The layer's just not thick. Your eyelid skin tissue is really thin. So it's just delicate.
And when an emergency does happen, should they go to the emergency room or should they go right to Ocala Eye?
They should call because even if it's after hours, we have someone on call. We have a technician and a physician on call. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because sometimes it's not something that the ER is equipped to handle. There are things that patients call for that they feel could possibly be an eye problem, and it may be health-related issue. It may be, the beginning signs of a stroke or some things like that we might recommend that they go to the ER once we kind of triage their problem. If it's something eye-related, there may be something that we could tell them over the phone to do that they don't necessarily have to come in for an appointment. They can try this first, see if this helps. Or, of course, if we feel like there's an appointment needed, then, we work them into doctor's schedule. Usually always try to keep them at the location they go to. It just may not be with the same physician they always see. So,
do you do job shadowing? I know, the seniors in high school, sometimes they like to volunteer for community hours. And
we have had some of the physicians allow some students to come over to shadow in surgery. And I know at some point they've also done like cadaver eyes to let them kind of see suturing like on cow eyes.
Oh, I did
they're
that.
bigger. Yeah.
I did that in school.
Yeah.
My teacher kicked the bucket. I mean, literally, we had a bucket of cow eyes, and my teacher had one leg, and he tripped. I'm not making this up. And he tripped, and the whole bucket of cow eyes was all over the room.
Oh, gosh.
Listen to this, Nikki. I can still, I can smell it. There was a smell.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's that formaldehyde that's in it that's keeping it, preserved, per se.
And I remember taking the eye apart and looking at the retina of the cow eye, right?
Yep.
And right in the back it said moo. No. It had this beautiful blue, right, like a purplish blue, I guess.
That's probably because that layer's so thin, so you're actually seeing the blood in those vessels and arteries back there behind the eye.
Where did you get them from? A butcher? I mean,
I'm not sure. I'm sure there's banks. I mean, tissue banks that probably.
For cow eyes?
I would assume they probably, because they use those cadaver things as teaching tools for multitudes of things. So
I'd like to see one. That would be awesome.
They're very big, actually.
The cow eye was huge.
Cow eyes are very big.
Oh,
yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was like a softball. I'm not making it up. And you had to cut the fat off of it in order to get to the thing.
Yep.
And then, yes, you cut into it. And
yeah.
I was better at that than I was the frog. The frog was horrible because you had these little tiny things,
Yep.
The eye was just a big ball.
It is. So, there's been surgeons that have allowed the, students to come in and do that and kind of, mess with suturing them and just
Isn't
as a
it
teaching
amazing
tool.
that things have eyes, though? Isn't that amazing?
It is. The eye itself is actually amazing. I mean, it's just incredible that it's, the optic nerve that connects it to your brain. There's like a million little cables there that it just interprets.
Did you know that chickens
see.
have ears? And I know it's about eyes, but did you know chickens have ears?
I don't know that I knew that.
And I know you can think I'm nuts. No, we had a trivia thing the other day. The color of the earlobe is the color of the egg.
Really?
If you have a chicken with white earlobes, I know you're looking at me like I'm nuts. Can I look it up during the break? What? Right? You never heard that?
So whatever color the egg is the color the chicken's ears are.
Wait. Let me ask Siri. Siri, if a chicken has white earlobes, what color are the eggs? Let's see what she says. Let's see. Wait, where's her message? Wait. Siri, if a chicken has white earlobes, what color are its eggs? Okay, here we go.
Here's what I found on the web for if a chicken has white hair lobes, what color are it?
Hair lobes? Hair lobes? Wait, that's not what I said.
Or maybe they have hair lobes too.
Yes. Oh, here it is. Crespo said. I'm sorry. I'm taking.
No, you're okay.
We'll skip a commercial or two. Oh, yes. Is there a way to tell what color the eggs will be? Yes. Take a look at its earlobes.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at there. I learned about chicken earlobes and hamster diving.
Yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of animal trivia.
You're my friend on Facebook now.
That's right.
Your husband has a big gun, too.
He does.
Yes, 2 big guns. And you have a wicked-looking dog, too.
He is super friendly at home.
What is his name?
His name's Drago.
And the husband? What's the husband?
Jay.
Jay and Drago.
There you go.
And are you a gun girl? Do you have a gun?
I do have one.
Good.
Nice.
All these wacky stories in the news.
I know. It's crazy right now.
When you were talking about suturing, do you do much suturing now because of the development of laser surgery?
Yes, actually, we still do. I mean, laser, like I said, is still assisted, and we use it for, multitude of things. Sometimes to make the flap for LASIK, and that type of laser. It also can do, some of the cataract surgery. It's laser assisted. We use lasers for other things, for glaucoma and things like that. But as far as suturing, when patients have a growth removed from the eye and they have to get a graft, it's sutured on, or if they need to put a suture in just because the wound in the cataract is not closing properly, they'll put, that's a normal stitch. So they still suture quite a bit for different procedures. I mean, it's not super common. I mean, cataract surgery itself usually does not require a stitch, but for patients who, have other types of eye surgeries that might require
those
sutures.
Those sutures dissolve?
No, they usually remove them.
Oh, really?
They usually remove them.
Last week you had a call. And the lady was bragging about getting
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
her name was Gareth. She came in, and we know her. I didn't realize that it was her.
Oh, okay.
And she said that one of the things that happened was the doctor did a little stitch. She said she didn't even feel it, but it corrected her astigmatism. A little stitch.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And that has to do with the shape of the eye. So the roundness of the front of your eye. So astigmatism is basically, if you think about it in something to look at, astigmatism kind of means like your eye's shaped more like half of a football or an egg than half of a baseball or a basketball. So it's not perfectly round.
Okay.
So the reason that causes your vision to not be quite clear is because that surface isn't perfectly round when light comes into it. So if we can round that surface out to be a perfectly round surface,
you see better.
It can clear up your vision.
So it's not double vision then. It's double vision is something else?
Double vision is actually seeing two different images. So most of the time double vision is because the eye muscles in the eye makes your eyes not line up properly. So it's kind of, it's not getting the images in the same place.
Can you correct that?
You can. A lot of times people, it may not be to the point where it can be surgically corrected, but it may not be to that point for some patients. A lot of times we can just put what we call prism in your glasses, and all that does is just make the muscles line up and the double vision goes away.
And does that help the children? Because sometimes the children are cross-eyed.
It does happen to children. So a lot of times if they'll catch what they call a lazy eye, or our technical term is called amblyopia, they'll patch the eye. A lot of times that'll help it. Basically that eye just didn't learn to see as well from a young age. And so some of those children may need surgery. It may be too much prism to put in a glasses prescription to help them, so they might need surgery to help eliminate or alleviate some of that
and they can still see properly if they have
because they're going in and doing the surgery on the side. So you've got muscles on the sides and above your eyes that kind of make you be able to look up and down and left and right. So that's where they're doing the surgery. They're either shortening one of those muscles or pulling it up a little bit more, or whatever the surgeon's needing to do to.
So every once in a while you hear a story about a kid or an adult who gets arrested because they were shining one of those laser pointers into a cockpit of an airplane, right?
Okay.
Can that actually blind you, those laser pointers?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say no because I'm sure something at some point can happen to someone, but light itself is just not great to have just pouring into your eye, in a specified area like that for a long point of time. I don't know what type of light it is that they use in those little laser lights, but
cats love it though.
Yes, they do.
Do you have a cat?
I do.
And dogs love it too.
Our dog does chase it too.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he loves chasing.
All right, let's go to the phone and let's see. We'll push a button here. There you go. Good morning. You're on the air with Nikki Nix.
Good morning, guys. It's Mike McCoy.
Hey, Mike.
I just wanted to share something with you and possibly get an input from Nikki Nix.
Okay.
I have a son who is autistic, and of course, when he was young, we had to go through a lot of different techniques and learning, and so I went up to Philadelphia to a place called the Institute for the Achievement of Human Potential. A guy named Glenn Doman was the director of this, and the things that we learned about the children and how the brain develops and everything, trying to help my son. And it was just for the parents, not the children go there yet. So I went up there, and one of the most amazing thing that I saw was and learned that was they were very, very I guess adamant about the fact that one of the reasons that children's eyes don't develop properly is because children who have a tendency to walk early are the ones who seem to have these eye problems, and it's because of when you're a child and you're on the ground and you're crawling, your eyes develop very slowly to things because you're normally looking down, and so you're seeing the things on the floor. And they said the perfect floor to have in your house when a child is developing is a black and white checkerboard type floor. And they said this teaches and lets the children's eyes develop more gradually and more complete. Have you ever heard of anything like this?
I haven't, but I will tell you, we haven't had a pediatric ophthalmologist for a number of years at our practice, so we don't see a lot of pediatric patients. So someone who specializes in pediatric ophthalmology probably has, come across this situation a lot more than we do. We don't see anyone under the age of like 12, so we don't see a whole lot of young patients, so it's just not something we're exposed to a lot.
Well, to me, it was it was so intriguing, and I kind of, I don't know, it makes sense. When you hear it, it makes sense.
Right.
Because when the child is upright and they have to see everything further away, so it strains their eyes when they're very, very young.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd share that.
Well, thank you very much.
Sounds like somebody studied it anyway, right? Thank you for the call. And by the way, Nikki is here to answer your questions. If you have any questions about your eye or the eye of somebody you love, maybe their vision is failing, or they're blinking, or they're complaining about dry eye or sandy eyes, right? I don't know if that's the same thing. This is a good time to call. It's a great opportunity to get the question answered. But you can also call Nikki at Ocala Eye. Do you want to give a number?
It's 352-622-5183.
And you have how many locations? 4?
We have 4 locations,
Four
yes.
locations. And is the one in Heathbrook going to be the 5th, or this replaces one?
It's going to replace the Paddock Park location.
One back here, this
yes,
way.
the
Okay.
one right there behind the mall.
But for now, there's one behind the mall.
There is one behind the mall.
Okay, that's where my son went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had his...
He had LASIK.
He had LASIK, yeah.
Yeah.
He wore glasses since he was a little kid. In his case, here was the story with my son. He was little, and we were watching TV, and the credits or something came on, and he said, you would think that they would put this clear instead of so blurry, and it was clear. And I said to him, that's not clear to you? And so it's funny, because he was playing video games all the time and never complained about anything. And I guess at school he had to sit close, and I never knew it. Anyway, long story short, he got glasses, and he had been wearing them. He's 31 now, so when did he do it? Last year?
Yeah.
He was at your place.
Oh, good.
And
Wonderful.
I don't know if I shared this with you. I was in one of the back rooms.
Okay.
Where the big TV was. I think I was in somebody's office.
At the LASIK, you were probably in the viewing room.
Yeah, and I was his eye was as big as a Chevy, I think. And
That microscope will make it look like that.
oh my gosh! And I kept thinking, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. I mean, it didn't even look like him.
No, they don't feel anything. I mean, they might feel a little bit of pressure, almost like if you were to close your eye and put your finger on the outside of your eyelid. But as far as pain goes, no, it looks like it would be painful, but it's not.
You never stop being a parent, right?
I know. And a lot of times, just that, for instance, if we don't let our kids know, if they don't know to be on the lookout for anything with their eyes, they think that that's normal. They think that everybody else in their class is seeing the chalkboard not clear. And
yesterday, Robin and I went to this fabric store. She's buying buttons for my shirt.
Okay.
And gosh, you should see all the choices of buttons. I had no clue.
Yeah.
There were so many buttons. Anyway, so there was these big magnifying glasses, and it reminded me of, because I do artwork, okay? And I was doing some artwork in the past, and I had to buy this big old thing, big magnifying glass. And I said, why is everything so blurry? I didn't even think I needed glasses, and that was all it was. I needed glasses to be able to see what I used to be able to see without, just...
Yeah, it's like I've mentioned before, a lot of times for people, it takes you a little bit to recognize it, because sometimes it is a gradual change, and until you kind of see the comparison of what the clarity is supposed to look like, it's normal vision for you. You don't know any different. So
When the patients come in for LASIK surgery or cataracts, are they awake or are they asleep?
They're awake. Now, during cataract surgery, we do give them some sort of sedative, which is normally Valium or Versed. So they're kind of... they're awake, but they don't really care what we're doing. We want them not anxious, because, of course, everybody's a little bit nervous. They're having their eye operated on.
Yeah, really.
We do give them an oral Valium for LASIK as well, just to kind of take the edge off a little bit. But they are awake. The reason is because, when you fall asleep, if you're all the way asleep, your eye rotates in a different position. So if the doctor needs them to, look left a little bit or look down a little bit or whatever, we need the patient to at least be able to follow instructions to be able to do that. So.
And how long does that procedure take?
The surgery, they're at the surgery center for a couple of hours. They're back in the operating room for about 30 30 minutes probably, but the procedure only takes maybe 10 to 12 minutes of that. It's a pretty short procedure.
Oh, okay.
This is probably just a sunglass thing, but I was following a car. I guess we've all done this, and the sun was reflecting off the back window. I mean, it was like I was looking right at the sun, and if I put my visor down to cover it, I basically wasn't seeing the road.
Right.
It was crazy.
Yeah, definitely sunglass thing. I mean, all that is just, yeah, it can. I mean, it's just that reflection, and so of course that light is different, and it's coming right into your eye at a different angle.
Yeah.
So
I gotta get sunglasses.
You got to get glasses and sunglasses.
Glasses and sunglasses, and I'm gonna be over at your place for the rosacea thing too.
We're just gonna give you the workup.
I'm gonna be there for a while. It's gonna be the year of Ocala Eye for me. Nikki, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Did you have a lot of people look at your video last week, the mermaid video?
We did. They were a little curious about the mermaid.
Well, you looked adorable.
Thank you.
Yes, you sure did. Nikki, thank you. Ocala Eye, in 4 locations, serving Ocala and the villages. Give them a call, 622-5183. And the website is?
Okay, it's just www.ocalaeye.com.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Survivors of Sunday's massacre at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, say some people played dead to survive and that the killer shot babies who cried. 26 people died. The man who shot and wounded the gunman before he crashed his car and killed himself is Stephen Williford.
I'm no hero. I am not. And I just wish I could have gotten there faster.
He spoke to KHBS TV. People are voting for governor today in New Jersey and in Virginia, where the Republican candidate has President Trump's long-distance support on Twitter.
Ed Gillespie, a former chair of the Republican National Committee, is in a tight race with Democratic Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam. The president tweeted from Seoul, South Korea this morning, saying Gillespie will, quote, turn around the high crime and poor economic performance of the state.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Voters in Maine will decide whether to expand Medicaid coverage. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. The sort of shave that cuts clean without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And because Harry's is so confident in the quality of their blades, they'll send you their most popular set, complete with a razor, one of their world-famous blades, shaving cream, and post-shave balm for free if you cover shipping. A total value of $20 at no cost to you, with code 1170 at checkout. Their way of saying thank you for trying them. How is Harry's able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures the blades. That's how. Go to harrys.com now and enter code 1170 at checkout to claim your free trial set and post-shave balm. That's harrys.com, code 1170.
Frame and why they are so needed in our gardens. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
If you are experiencing high bicarbonates in your citrus groves, Ed Lowndes with the Cindo Curly Crop Vitality Group says they have a product for you.
Biosalt is an excellent product for bicarbonate control in your citrus grove. It is a 12-00-26% water-soluble sulfur. Our products are water clear, neutral in